Welcome gamers to another One Piece Bounty Rush video. So today we're going to be looking at the top 10 non-EX characters. So this will be an interesting one. I had a lot of headache making this list. So hopefully you agree with my list and my reasons as well. Don't just look at the rankings and then dip. Let's head into this one real quick. I don't want to make this one too long. So for my number 10, I got Momonosuke, the one that just released a couple of weeks ago. So for Momonosuke, or Momo, yeah, he's a little bit disappointing. He's still really good, but not at the level we'd want him to be, because I got 9 other characters I think that are definitely better than him. The problem is I see with him is that his skill 2 does no damage and it is his only source of healing, and basically I can't complain much about the nullification of status, but the two things I would want him to do is that he has much bigger skill 2 cooldown, because the skill 2 can reduce some of the damage from fixed damage skills and all of that, so you stay above the 70% threshold. I like that about him. You can use it for that, but the skill 2 comes back like way too low. It does have, like, when you use skill 2 you can get skill 1 cooler dash. That skill 1 so broken, it can go from the furthest enemy flag, but at the start of the game it's not as good, especially if people don't get you treasures. But if your team gets you treasures, you can teleport there, jump, and just hold and stall as much as possible. I mean, that's his role. He can stall and make the enemy ache a bit, because he can be a bit tanky. When he's above 70%, he has a 50% damage reduction, 30% when he's on the flag, and really good. So I don't want to keep this one too long. We'll head to number 9. So for number 9, I got Holy Jones. Even if no one uses him or no one cares about him, I can't deny that this character is actually the spot he deserves. If you agree or disagree, I don't know. Like, he has a lot to him, even though Alba, Big Mom, Zoro can counter him and remove his state. I think those are only 3 characters in the meta that can do that. He's still pretty good. He can still one-shot Alba at least. He can still one-shot Big Mom. Like Zoro, Full Ray Shanks, he struggles against the boss because they nullify stagger and they can like keep pressuring you. Like Shanks makes you lose your HP even more. Zoro is green, keeps pressuring you with normals, you can't do anything. If Zoro changes color, then yeah, you can do something to him. But other than that, like, he doesn't have like much counters. He's really tanky. It's like 30% damage reduction when he's on the steroid state, another 30% when he's like above 70% HP. And he can keep, unlike Momonosuke, he can keep that above 70% HP, because the steroid skill gives him like an insane attack buff, HP buff, like he can heal a lot, and that healing is based on your attack buff basically. So the higher attack, the more you will heal. So like, he's pretty good. And that Shark skill, 200% damage to Devil users. If people are not stacked with defense, you will be able to one-shot them. Like if you get Gear 5 and Claw early, you can one-shot them. Even if like this character is not being used, he deserves the spot, I believe. And pretty good for like laying momentum. You can pair up with Green Bull, since he's a more efficient runner than Hodi. Hodi can feel like an attacker at times. That's why it's hard to put him higher. And his cap speed is like Hakuba and Usopp, where the gauge needs to be about 50% HP for your cap speed, which it can be quite annoying for sure. Well, let's head to the number 8 right now. So for my number 8, I got Bello Betty. Even if still another character no one barely uses, because they just released, and we know that people are saving for the 5th anniversary, the ones that are still playing the game. But anyways, she is really good. We underestimated her, that she doesn't have an attacking skill, but her traits covered for it so much. She ignores the flag, knocks back on her 3rd hit, buffs allies, and like can be invincible, immortal with like a skill 2, can't die, and all of that. And you can loop it if you keep attacking the enemy, or if you have cool metal sets like get you down. that skill 2 cooldown, so you can keep looping it over and over again. But the sad thing is that her skill 1 can be removed by people who like remove status effects, similar to how they remove Shanks' buff state. Opbr can remove it, King, the other version, Big Mom as well. All these other characters like Kaido, they can remove that, and then you lose your attack buff and the nullification of status, which you definitely need. But as long as you can keep skill 2, you can do pretty well. The downside is that she doesn't have a healing team boost, which can be a problem sometimes, because attack boost, it's good because she cannot kill the enemy, but her point is not to kill the enemy. The point that she can hold the flag, unlike Momonosuke. At times he can stop, but he can get pressured out of the flag. But Bello just does everything better than I would feel like Momonosuke if you compare, because they are both red defenders. So hope you agree. That's it for my number 8. Let's move on to the next one. I'm definitely gonna make people mad with this one. So my number 7, I got Cracker. Cracker's still good, decent, even against Gear 5, Claw, especially with them struggling to get to the max defense stat. But if they do get to the max defense, you can't do anything, basically. You need Gear 5 to give you the Kaminari, the team boost, and then you Claw, to hit him with team boost, so that you ignore damage skill 1, ignore damage reduction skill 1 can one-shot them, and your biscuit skill, can keep doing great damage to them. He's good, great healing, great survivability, has a revive, all of that stuff, and his normals, long range, you can really pressure enemies with them as well. That one too, I like it a lot. Yeah, that skill 2, since it got shadow buffed, now it's it pushes enemy back even if they're down or they dodge into it. So it's a really much a biscuit world like it's supposed to be. So I liked it about Cracker. He is really great. People who still use him, he's great. But the thing is, the other 3 characters that I put above him, he can kill them, but the problem is that they have a higher win rate, you would say. And I'm talking about runners and what they would have in the meta. So let's hop into those ones. Cracker definitely deserves the spot. Maybe it could be argued a little bit higher, but I think this is where it ends for him. So for my number 7, I got the Frankie that just released before Momonosuke and Greenbone. So Frank is really good. The only weakness he has is that he doesn't have capture, because that's important. Sometimes if the big moms, the Gear 5s, are on the flag, he can't do pretty much anything to get them off, so he can camp. If they're all of them in the flags that he needs to change the game into 3-turn, all of that. But since he tanks a lot when he captures, nullifies knockback, the only thing that can take him off is status effects, right? So that is pretty good about him. And then that is skill 1, faster than King, he's able to do pretty well and all of that. But the thing is with also Frankie is not tanky when he's not capturing with a flag or when he's not using the skill 1. So that can be a problem. And Claw, other blues, even Cracker, Blake Sophie, they can really do a number on you if you're not careful. So yeah, but other than that, he's pretty good. Has that perfect dodge as well. Can be sneaky, get that 30% fixed damage, which I really love. And now you can just remove defensive buff from the Claw and down Gear 5. It's not much noticed, but it's definitely good to support the allies and making it easier for them to one-shot those stubborn, characters. So I think he deserves a spot. If it would have been a little bit tankier or he had some way to know the flag, it would have been much higher for sure. So for my number 5, I got King. I feel so bad to put him at the spot because he can be good. He has a speed team boost, quick damage in skill 1. Skill 2 can do massive damage to attackers. But it's just not that matter for him. The defenders struggle with Like Gear 5, he definitely struggles with. And Big Mom, even though he could fight him in the meta past metas, just right now, since Gear 5 is there to balance things out, like King sort of struggles to take flags. But if you can maneuver yourself around, lower the gauges a bit around the flag, like be a red, you basically will like clutch the game. But it's a bit harder for him than it was, in previous metas for sure. He has good traits, and the one thing I like about him is that he's tanky. His damage reduction, his defensive buff, and all of that. Even though his defense buff like gets him one-shotted by his counterpart, the Opbr version, he can still survive, right? You still survive against like Claw's skills as well. But that skill too, whether sometimes when people are not stacked or they are not in the treasures, it can one-shot other people, which is something I can't deny. So you can argue with this one. Like this one, I could give like King could be higher, definitely. But I just feel like how he is on the meta and his impact, it's a bit reduced than what it was before. So let me move to the next character. So for my number 4, I got Cyber Queen. Like, he's pretty good. He can be able to go invisible and keep the flag, and the only problem with him is that his healing, like the 3% healing and the damage reduction, is locked behind defensive boost people, and he doesn't have much like mobility as well. Like I think those are the two things. Like if that trait, I've said multiple times now, it was to all parameter boosted people have attack buff, speed buff, crit buff, all of that, it'd be much better and able to keep the flag, no needing to like dodge skills or try to avoid normals or take it too much damage while capping the flag when you're invisible. Invisible. Yeah. Sort of tricky to say because I'm used to saying those two words at the same time. But yeah, he has heal boost as well, while King has the speed boost. I mean, yeah, these three characters, Frankie, King, Queen, they can be argued and swapped around. But I just feel at the moment I'll put them in the spots. So let me head to my next character because I see this video is getting too long. So for my number 3 character, even though this character is like a year now and more, she is still so busted. Like every time we think her meta is over and she can't do anything, they keep releasing units that can keep get status effects and they just suffer to her. So like Uta is definitely still really good, still really busted, still can do great damage. I mean, like it's just insane. But right now she's not relying too much on the sync as she was. I think now you just want to do as much damage as possible with skill 2, infinity loop with normal attacks. If people don't resist the stagger, you can pretty much do that. She has the shield, so it can protect you from one-shotting skills like the buzzering gun and all these other big range skills that will be coming out eventually. And I think, like in my video, I put King above her in my top 50 video, but now that I got to use it again, because I haven't made her in so long, she's pretty good. I think number 3 is a perfect spot for her. Like the impact she can have on a team is really like top tier and on that level. Like if she's not winning by capturing the flag, like she's helping the team do things that well. Like she's a bit squishy and all of that, you know, she's a bit aged out. She could have like newer traits, but like she's still busted. I can't deny that for sure. So let's move on to the next one. So for my number 2, I've even said it in other videos to spoil. Definitely Green Bull. This man is insane. I mean, to those who underrate him, well, good luck to you. This man can steal your matches like nothing. He is the best ignoring capture trait, not in the game, but I'm saying for bounty first units, above 70%, comboed with the fact that he can keep healing, and he can remove recovery block if he hits you in the enemy treasure. He's just nutty. I mean, the only thing is that if he could remove those type of status effects just in the treasure area, it would be good, because he would want that, especially if you don't want to get huge damage against Kaido, Yamato, these 2 units. You can struggle against them if you capture the flag, flag and then fight them afterwards. So like he's good. Like skill 1 can be a bit slow, definitely can get interrupted, but if you set it up, maybe get a perfect dodge or down people and then teleport, pretty good. Like even the skill 1, you can use it offensively. It's not just to teleport. Like someone, if you're fighting them in the flag, since the skill takes you to the closest flag, you can use it to get your flag back. Bait the dodge, then use your skill 1, then hit them back on it. If they don't have a skill to use on you, and then you can just kill them like that. Pretty easy. So he has like, I mean, that's 50% HP recovery like, every time someone kills you when you're on the flag. It's busted. Like this character, definitely a big W. I would like to see more. Definitely they don't want to give runners that knockback ability or just ignoring status completely. Maybe an EX will have all 4 of these restrictions and they can just cap whenever they want. The only time you can remove them is basically never. Well, I don't think that will happen for sure. I'm sure you pretty much know like who's number 1, but before that, I just wanted to say something about these units. Like the ones that released earlier this year, Nami, Brook, Usopp, and like the Blue Uta and all of that. Like these characters, they are good, but I feel like they're not good enough to be in that top 10. Like maybe in that top 15, could put them there. But that's just it, because those other characters, they're much better. They can perform in League like ridiculously more than those characters, I would say. So for number 1, definitely Opbr. He's a one-shot king. He farms points easily. Like many characters like just struggle with him at the moment, and they can't pretty much do anything to him except if you have type advantage or he doesn't get perfect dodge or you outplay him. But if he's on top of things and on top of you, like you just get killed. That's basically what it is. And you know how those Opbr players play at the back 5 meters in the corner and then just teleport to you, skill tune you. That's the type of skills that when a broken attacker has them, it's GG's. When they have that big distance range, they don't need to confront you 1v1 close to you, like Sanji and all of those other characters. Then yeah, they are really top tier. So I hope you guys enjoyed my list and my video. Kept it a little bit short, I guess. I'll see you in the next one. Leave a like, subscribe to Love the Run for stuff. Cheers.